Alright, much of the ranked games done with my teams throughout the months across Rainbow Six have given me the data needed to assess where I need to go in my travels towards achieving greatness. This is a self-summarization in mid-game that I'll give of my capabilities thus far. I don't give a fuck who it affects personally or references, since it's to be my problem anyways in some manner, way, shape, or form, and that's fine. Between here and various other previous games, unranked and ranked all the same, I'm trying to sit here and continue self-analysis of a lot of different successes and failures through many different ranked games and ranked game scenarios with a number of different teams, both friendly or random or around the way, with different people across the waters, America, European, UK, blah 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 blah. I can see now that at my peak tactical performance that my skills are fairly good, I guess, but declining amidst recognizable flawed points that are seizing my ability to be calm, lax, patient, or have gradual increasing game sense supersede pending overthinking. Vice versa. Everything about my thought process for these mounting tactical experiences I like and I do not like. I discontinued doing one-on-ones in this wretched-ass game to benefit the quote-unquote better understanding of team activities and working together with a team, even though the premise of 1v1 is to establish better game sense for varying situations and one's self-benefit with and without a team, and to better understand how to round clutch was the whole damn point why I played these matches so fucking in-depthly, and it's why I cared about Rainbow at those times. It's the reason why I enjoyed competition across competitive games, especially this one, as I can explore different tactics I don't usually utilize and apply them so long as this doesn't set me back too much or too much too soon. 1v1s are still my way of testing different things while increasing my gun game and game sense before applying them in real-time situations. I've done this for many games, for many years, before it becoming such a big-ass issue with this stupid, pathetic, whiny community and its establishing of an unenlightened ignorance of variety. My actions in playing more tactically rather than aggressively is for my self-benefit before anyone else. Period. Why? I trust that my team can do what they need to do, and my teams can do that and have done that on many an occasion, both inside and outside my base core American and UK-based teams. However, I feel that personally in some situations I need to look out for me more, and most as there are too many times where my own gun game is not stable or highly questioned with unsettling thinking and constant stressful situations. All of these are meant to test me, and that's fine unless they stack, which they've always been doing gradually, surely but surely, with all this excess exposure to playing Rainbow Six Siege. This keeps forcing a shift between dependent, independent, or emotionally driven gameplay that warps the issue of consistency that I'd occasionally have to hear about at annoying times in the early works when I began playing more competitively early last year or the year before. I still seem to have to hear it these days sometimes like I'm some novice, but that's hardly here or there. Game sense is difficult to adapt to or rotate in for said grids, but it's not non-existent at all. Understanding game sense for this competitive field has been a long, unending road of uncertainty, and it's never been clear-cut for me due to natural changing situations and juggling attention between more than one platform at one time, daily devoid of others' knowing or concern. Nonetheless, I'm still here training myself towards where I need to be at for a lot of reaction time in Rainbow's given game protocol to become more normal, or to become normal in general to most changing and escalating elements. Game sense as follows so far, I want to say, do include a better grasp of weaponry sense, map knowledge, map penetration, rotation of sights or support of sights to a lot different rates of performances, how I think when I'm focused or how I think when I'm distracted. That still varies, honestly. The attention to detail in the environment, defensive and offensive reaction time, correct weapon choices per rounds, the play style corresponding to each weapon, or map selection with pending adaptation allotting spawns, spawn peeking, and roaming counter-aggressive variables. Further introduction of roamers and spawn peaks I feel has improved a sense of quiet movement and more tactical awareness with a purpose without making too much noise too soon. Or, as people want to selectively call it, moving slow. I don't give a fuck. Moving at my own pace, that way I can make sure that I get to wherever the hell I need to get to. I'm a lot less paranoid about in-game features and surprises, so it doesn't always affect being calm and steady in application of my reaction time or movement rate or that thereof. Studying past gameplays relevant to past post-game synopses, mental memory of past angles or the ways I died in battle, the changing pool of varying play styles around me, friendly and otherwise, creating numerous windows into self-benefit from a lot of past positive successes and failures together. That's how it should be. Yet, the reverse effect is gradually happening, and it's what's being a real pain in the ass trying to play this game. It's gotten me as far as gold tier range right now. Gold 2, maybe about 3 or 4 times for this US season. To be exact, I've yet to finish any placement on UK or Australian servers, so there's always a chance that this can change. I can pull a Platinum 3 out of my ass in good fortune, or some twist of fate from a number of well-met games across the waters. I don't know. Fate can still happen. I also know that I must ask much more of myself little by little if I want to strive farther away from gold tier area and closer into platinum country. Side note, being content on an excessively competitive team will result in people eventually telling me what I need to do or to do better, period, because they're not satisfied with what I do, that one day I have an off game. And that has happened on many an accord, where I have to have or deal with some illusionary, natural, high-ass expectation, yet everybody else around me is given some illusionary, fake-ass free pass. So it's like, fuck Rodimus, because he's some weak-ass nigga. I don't have time to deal with this, but here we are dealing with this bullshit. They're not satisfied. No one will be satisfied with what I do. All these elements will or may result in my contentment being short-lived rather than long-term anyway. So I'll just enjoy them while it lasts before I increase my training process further and continue having heavy annoyances playing this video game with or without the proper company. The question I ask myself is, how is it that with so much demand on playing this damn game, do I have less than average consistency apparently in having great games less and bad games more, as opposed to past seasons of steady good and bad games both, still amidst challenging, juggled consistency? I don't need all of this to be perfect, despite others toxically wanting me to perform perfectly all the fucking time, as if people can do that on call without an error. That is improbable of a human to do. But hey, guess what? We're dealing with stupid asses somewhere. There are many times where I do have to ask more of myself just to get by at those times, when I'm needing to do better. At the same time, my attention is always divided. It's a highly shitty mental juggle I have to deal with a lot of the time, because that's what life is going to give me to deal with, and so I gotta deal with it. I don't tell anybody else about it because it's one of those things I keep to myself, and I just kind of sit on it. Logically, I wrap up any real-life crap and family matters before stepping onto a video game plateau, so it avoids constant conflict of interest as it has in past situations over the years through many past competitive adventures that many of you know that I've been on. However, there are still times when it pops up again and again anyway, because I have other responsibilities to see to and balance out that coexist outside of a gaming paradigm. When it happens too many times, I can't focus anymore, period. My concentration breaks right there because I'm having to be inconvenienced with more important matters outside of a game at that time. As untimely as they are, it's life, and you have to deal with it to sort out affairs. It seems like someone is always going to have to be at fault, or that guy you have to blame, so it might as well be me, since no one else has this shitty issue to deal with or sort out at any inconvenient times that seem to be pointed out. So it feels that way, and a lot of continued mountings of stress. Strong consistency and not subtle consistency is an issue to deal with still, due to needing to know so much with poorly timed updates of present interests in short amounts of time, causing vast overloads, which lead to a lot of my pending headaches, which also I keep to myself. On the other hand, I can't keep up with everything, and so sorting these updates out one by one is what I have to do, so I can have my brief moments of peace before said knowledge of said thing becomes a present bump in the road of said progress I'm always rolling down upon. Adding to this inconsistency is also constant real-life cause and effect bleeding into private time, and personally, I'm the only person around fit or concerned or responsible enough to have to do these said things for said people when they want to intervene on my said private time. Again, life affairs are seen to before I clock in here. Otherwise, pastimes of interest, and that's normal as real life and vastly more important than any of the shit that I do out here, as the work is never done. I get annoyed a lot because I'm almost always deterred and lose focus from a standing activity. My intervention helps people around me to live easier with a lot of the juggling variables of their own, yes, but it constantly sets me back each time, whether or not it's intentional. I don't blame anyone. Shit happens, and it can be sorted out over time as it's a trivial matter. The problem I'm at now to sort out is that the constant change of real-life circumstances has cost me a lot of crap that I have to gradually run the clock back on to reach as a neutral point for a lot of different activities that I'm usually a part of, because I'm constantly losing and losing and losing and losing a lot that I can't get back. And the help that I have that's supposed to help me with a lot of this stuff here in my own right, so I don't have to sit here and juggle so much, it is also varying, and so this is a lot of shit to attempt to sort out. And I need to be sure with myself that this is still what I want to do. Why is it that this competitive platform takes the biggest hit of all in my competitive platform pursuits? I lose a lot on Destiny. I can slowly get most of that back, if not better things. I lose a lot on Fighters. I can slowly get all that back. I lose a lot on Fortnite. It only takes 4 or 5 days to make up for month-long breaks just to get shit on by a whole bunch of sweaty-ass brats and teenagers in the final circle enclosure to get robbed of another win. I lose a lot on Xenoverse 2 from the amounts of inactivity I've had there as long as it's been. Yet I get all of that back, and I'm actually right where I need to be at. It's like one of the fewest games ever that I ever played, where I'm not behind on anything at all whatsoever, for once. My God. Yet here on Rainbow Six Siege, I lose a lot. I work my ass off to get all this shit back, and it stays gone. It remains a constant problem that feels like it's unable to be fully corrected without adding more risk and further involvement, as much as I don't want to delve further into this video game like that without it being of a toxically committed extent. I've modified my training assessment to improve results as they've been happening to better myself, yet basics gradually do better or else they steadily decline. Again, based on how I feel that day. It pisses me off. I do my solo queues at times. A lot of them feel crappy in my opinion personally, as my performances vary constantly between paying attention and not able to pay attention or forcing myself to pay attention. So I have to take wins and losses equally as they go back and forth to a bitter annoyance. A lot of days or nights I know I don't really want to play Rainbow Six, or I don't care about playing too strongly, or I may not even care about it at all that day. Like, just take a break, just fuck off. But while I have other things on other platforms that I juggle with, I continue to commit anyways at these times because of the availability of a full cohesive unit and team to coordinate with for improved odds of success. It's a less headache to deal with and to want to deal with sporadic players and variables that happen there, and it's easier with a team that plays off of how each of us play and how I play, or that knows how I play and how I strategize, and can work to a lot of advantageous variables. I seem to be criticized more every now and again during my moments of comfortability that come normal to me because it's wrong apparently for what comes natural at that time to want to do or seek to do, to be aggressive or selectively aggressive. I choose to disregard what others say then and follow what I believe to be the correct move to commit to, while still keeping in mind what was past known about the enemy as numbers continue to dwindle in the round's progression. I don't need to keep hearing "You're welcome, by the way," at annoying times when I made my own damn play to win a round or get my own kill, barring a lot of friends or the friendly randoms where we all know the same people, so we just happen to have to coexist together during these games. Criticism is fine, but don't keep telling me what to do, like what I normally do is or would be wrong or cannot be changed to adapt to a different self-logical tactic that I would apply. I play this shit tactically all the time. It's the only game I choose to play where I have to turn my brain on most of the time because I'm a tactically based person. I always will be that way and nothing's going to change. And people assuming that I don't change up my tactics need to shut the fuck up already and leave me alone or block me or move on. I don't care. My personal ways of self-benefit vary along a lot of different elements personally, from past adaptive training rituals and ways of practice for this video game that adapt as the video game evolves, or as my likeness or disapproval of a lot of the game shifts. For instance, I play the new Unranked game feature. Here I feel very comfortable trying and practicing a lot of different things in order to help prepare for rank or to help just get warmed up in general. Personally, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if other people don't take Unranked seriously. Let them dick around, screw around, not take it seriously, and then get shit on because they didn't do what they needed to do. I take it seriously out of personal interest and nothing more and nothing less. I treat it like rank because that's the whole point of why it exists in the damn game now. It's set up exactly like rank, and so I will treat it as it will be. And since its creation, I've literally been here the majority of the time constantly training. I've given up playing casual unless that's what other people want to do. I don't care about casual anymore. Unranked is where I want to be at, and it's where I intend to stay until I get the results I'm personally satisfied with, and then I can move on from this fucking game. Practicing operators I usually don't use, I do that. Improving awareness, I continue to try and do this with a lot of different adaptations. Using weapons or tactics I usually don't apply openly, and playing more off of the plays or lack thereof amidst random teammates I meet only during these game sessions in order to simulate actual anger I'll likely have in the real thing from likely dumber plays or the lack thereof. In addition, this also allows me to make my own plays that can also advantageously or disadvantageously use or I guess using teammates kind of like scapegoats would be the answer, using them as bait, kind of steal their kills, this and that, in order to make sure that I can stay one step ahead of the game. I do this more with randoms than I do with friends. I try to make an effort to do it mostly with randoms. It's nothing personal, but I try to make sure I stay one step ahead. I know it may sound dirty, know it may sound kind of cheap, but I need to do what it is I need to do in order to make sure I stay ahead. While it is a tactical based game, it does have survival based elements, and so I have to just keep it practical in order to make sure I get the kills I need to help my teammates without necessarily relying on them too strongly, or do my job while maybe getting a kill here or there, or do my job, then I can focus on getting kills here or there so long as I actually complete the role of said operator. And also, I've given up playing Terrorist Hunt. I'm beyond that. It serves no benefit in my next push of general activity. At some point, a player does need to do more PvP-based gameplay and discontinue hitting repetitive AIs. It's not too long of a road, but it's just not short right now either, overcomplicated or otherwise. Self-improvement is never easy if you know yourself too well and the factors involved. There's still a long road in order to try to get back into gold country before I can re-ascertain my bid for platinum. So every little step of the way counts or does not count. Oh, God damn, I feel a lot better getting all of this shit off my chest. It's just a lot of elements in playing Rainbow Six Siege is highly frustrating, and it keeps mounting and mounting and mounting. It's a lot to get off my chest because I can never be satisfied for too long being on this damn game. Hardship becomes easier, more readable. Aiming is either whack as shit or else it's on point a lot of the time, and during placed criticism even then. Easy basics then become the hardest crap in the world to want to achieve, and then I have to suffer through that on a more complicated level otherwise found out to be simple at any other time I'm playing or would initially seek to be there. There's always an in-game bullshit or some bullshitter period that becomes a variable to have to work around. Some bullshit is funny that I can laugh off, and there's a good chunk of funny moments that I do sit on that were funny, and there's many more that weren't. Regarding crap where people leave or they can't take a loss of the pressure, we become the best squad we can be and resort to the basic all the way through in order to hold the line back in our favor with a missing team member, if there should be one, which there probably will be. Then regarding stupid people, I can and will be blocking more people just so I'm personally happy I don't ever have to deal or talk with the dumb fucker. I don't know why this game can't remove them from being a part of the same gaming sessions as you or your group if they are banned, or once they are banned like in other online social or interactive PvP based video games, but the show will still go on for some damn reason. Sometimes I even do something about it, and I just either team kill the person, or I go on ahead and go into the party chat, whatever it is, and I say something just to get it off my chest so it's said. But the person I'm with, or whoever it is I'm with, always seems to get the messages and not me, the YouTuber, the one that stands out among everybody else here that gets ignored all the goddamn time because I'm not important, or whatever the fuck personal reason you want to have that you don't want to acknowledge the bullshit that I'm causing you, that you want to also put on to me. But whatever, it works for me, since I can take advantage of that you chose to neglect. That's now a brief strong point for me to expose and kick your ass, and then I get to teabag you again, or just block you anyways, and prove my point physically rather than having it proved verbally. But still, just glad to finally get all this shit off my chest for once. Leave a like, don't leave a like, I don't give a fuck either way. Peace. Y'all know where to catch me, and as always, till all are one.